So you probably clicked on this video because you're looking for a new laptop, either for school, for editing, or for programming, or just looking for a new laptop in general. Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing and sharing my experience with the MacBook Pro 2017 edition after using it for 1 year, and I'll be answering whether should you buy this model in 2020 or even just MacBooks in general. So make sure to stay until the end of this video to get my full insights about it. But before that, for everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Matt. I have a pretty boring life. I study all day, I don't spend, I don't flirt, I save, I invest. Pretty boring for me. I usually create videos about personal finance, but I'm still a student. I edit a lot of videos and I code a lot. As students, we're constantly creating research papers, editing videos, and submitting our work online on LMS and etc. As programmers, we want a machine that could run our program as smooth as possible. So picking the right laptop is crucial if you want to be more productive and do stuff that really matters. So enough of the chit chat, let's start. So this baby right here is my MacBook Pro. I bought it last year, just before I started my first year college. But a bit of a backstory, before I bought this, I actually had the latest MacBook Air at that time. While everything was going good with the MacBook Air, I only had one problem. I bought the 128GB model, and that caused me a ton of problems. I was constantly transferring files to my 1TB hard drive just to keep that functional. I would be editing in Photoshop, and the next thing you know, I can't save my files. I would either need to delete or transfer them. It was just so frustrating all the time. Apple, they don't let you upgrade stuff. They don't even let you upgrade the RAM. So that you're then forced to buy another product of theirs. Pretty smart, And that's when I knew I needed an upgrade and I needed a MacBook that had more space in it. My options last year were pretty limited. I only had to choose between the MacBook Air again or the MacBook Pro. So technically, I could have bought the MacBook Air again just with a higher storage capacity. But I mean, who does that? Or who wants to do that? So my only other option really was the MacBook Pro. And there's an argument that I could have bought a Windows laptop. But if you're an Apple user, you're an Apple user for life. Strange, I know, but Apple's magic really works. This model is the 2017 edition, equipped with the Intel Core i5 dual core. I know, dual core in 2020, 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD storage, and I bought it for double the price of the MacBook Air, when my only problem was the freaking storage. So probably not the most practical decision that I made, but after 1 year of using it, I could say that it has a couple of advantages over Windows laptops or even the MacBook Air. Here are the pros to this. First, battery. Compared to Windows laptops and the MacBook Air, this thing is a beast when it comes to battery life. There would be days when I would be doing heavy stuff starting at 6 a.m. down to 1 p.m. and it would still have juice to it. And then there would be days where I would just be doing Google Docs and I would get a solid 8 to 10 hours of battery life. Look, I didn't do full in-depth research about the benchmarks of this compared to other laptops, but just plainly from my observation in the past, using Windows laptops only gave me around 2 to 4 hours of battery life. Of course, with the exception of the newer and higher end models. And I think this is where Apple really shines because of their macOS, their operating system. They're able to optimize for battery life. Second, another thing where this thing stands out is the build quality and look. Just look at this. Just look at this beauty and the simple design. It has an aluminum body, and with the silver and black color combination, it really gives that professional and minimalistic vibe, which I like. Just touching it up to this day feels so good. That sounded strange. But compared to the MacBook Air, which looks like it's mainly created for students, this one is called Pro for a reason. It's more targeted for graphic designers and video editors. You know the feeling when you're just so pumped and motivated to do your tasks because you have a good looking laptop? That's it. And last, I can't say this enough, but where I think this shines and where Apple really nailed it again is the screen and speakers. This baby has a 1440p Retina display, and it's way better than what I have with the MacBook Air. The speakers are heaven sent. Really, not gonna lie. This might be one of the best sounding speakers that I've ever heard in a laptop before. I don't know what tech they use, but compared to Windows laptops and the MacBook Air, This has plenty of bass, clarity, and just an overall good experience. Probably one of the biggest reasons for that is because this has forward-facing speakers. And I literally don't need to use the TV anymore. This thing as a package. However, as for every pro is an equivalent con. First, the elephant in the room is the price. Apple products will always be expensive compared to their counterparts. I was just lucky that my parents were willing to shoulder the price because I got in college with a scholarship. But if I were a scholar to pay for this, a student with no stable job or stable business, no damn way. This is just damn too expensive. No other comments about that. Second is the specs. This is probably going to be the most crucial part, but this laptop won't be able to compete in terms of specs to laptops with the same price point. This thing only has 2 cores and 8 gigabytes of RAM for nearly $2,000. That's insane. Because of this, I don't get the fast video rendering times. I can't game. And there are times when I run my program that it slows down. It rarely does, but it happens from time to time. I can't even upgrade the RAM, and I'm gonna be stuck to this machine for the next coming years. Bummer. These pros and cons were just plainly from my observation, from my experience, but there are a couple of things that I want to point out that would probably help me justify this purchase. Even though I was really brought down by the price and specs, since you're getting a MacBook, you're getting macOS. And this is where Apple compensates for the hardware. They make really good OS to make it look so fast and smooth. Plus, you gotta love the UI, especially with the new OS version, macOS Big Sur coming up. I really can't wait to update. Second, with the gestures and the large trackpad, I really don't need a mouse anymore. I promise you, I tried, but I always ended up preferring the large trackpad to the mouse. And last, Apple products in general, even after 1 to 3 years of its initial release, still maintain a high resale price. By the time of creating this video, this model is still selling at around 50 to 60% around of its price, even after 3 years of its release. So really not bad, especially when you look at other laptops out there. Now, after all that's said and done, the first question is, was it worth it for me? I actually hesitated answering this question before creating this video because I personally liked it. I personally loved it. But after realizing that I could have gotten faster specs for the price, that really brought me down. But everything justified for me in the end. It's really those little things like you can't game on a Mac, plus the beautiful build quality that actually led me to become more productive, not gonna lie. You're probably gonna want higher specs because you want to do gaming. For video editing, that's still up for question. I think it's one of those things that I wish I had the faster CPU, but nonetheless, everything's working for me. So it was worth it for me. But the biggest question is it worth it for you? My main answer is no. But why? Why would you praise Apple so much and justify yourself buying it when you're just gonna say no? That's because Apple just officially announced that they'll be moving from Intel-based silicon to manufacturing their own. And for the non-techies out there, that just means that not only will they have complete control of the software or the operating system, which makes MacBooks really good, but they will also have a piece of hardware. That means that they'll be able to optimize like hell down to the grain. For example, battery life, faster boot ups, and a lot more. And if you buy a MacBook right now, you're probably gonna miss a bunch of things, and your laptop is probably gonna be obsolete in the next 5 to 7 years. But here are my final thoughts. If you are someone who just doesn't care what I've just said, and you have the money, you need a laptop, and you want a good looking laptop, this is it. This is it. But I really highly discourage anyone wanting to buy a MacBook right now. Just wait for the next release. Thanks for watching until the end of this video. If you liked it, make sure to smash the like button. It will definitely help this video out. And if you like this type of video, these tech videos, and just buying things in general, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to be updated with this channel every time I post a video, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Add me on Instagram at MattDoesn'tStop. I always post there first. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.